Every minute, people around us make choices that shape their futures. But it's the ones we make about who we surround ourselves with that echo longest into our lives. It's said that by the age of 60, we've met most of the people we will know. If that's true, then each choice to keep someone in our life isn't just a short-term decision. It's a long-term commitment to the influences that will color our sunset years. In the world of Stoicism, we learn that our tranquility and virtue are heavily influenced by our environment, especially by those closest to us. Today, we're diving deep into a topic that touches each of our lives profoundly as we age: the types of people to avoid to safeguard our peace, happiness, and moral progress. This isn't just about making our old age more serene. It's about crafting a life philosophy that ensures the years ahead are not just endured, but enjoyed with wisdom and clarity. Stick with me, and let's explore how to wisely choose the company we keep, guided by the timeless wisdom of Stoicism. If you appreciate the insights we're sharing here, the simplest favor you can do for us is to hit that subscribe button. Make sure not to skip any part of the video, as each piece of advice builds on the last, to offer you a comprehensive guide to enriching your life. Let's get started. Number 1. The chronic complainer. This individual has a special knack for finding a cloud in every silver lining. They can transform any situation, no matter how pleasant, into a grievance session. For instance, let's say you've planned a lovely afternoon at a local cafe, sipping coffee under the warm sun, enjoying a gentle breeze. It sounds perfect, right? But the moment your companion starts lamenting about the coffee being too hot, the breeze being too chilly, or the cafe being too crowded, you can feel the atmosphere and your spirits dampen. Now, you might wonder why it's so important to steer clear of chronic complainers, especially as we grow older. Stoicism teaches us that it's not the external circumstances, but our reactions to them that define our peace of mind. Constant exposure to negativity can start to skew our perception of the world. It's like being in a room where a small, persistent leak slowly floods the space. Initially, it's just annoying, but eventually it can become destructive. Chronic complainers often don't realize the impact of their words, not just on their own mental state, but also on those around them. Research suggests that such negativity can even have a tangible effect on our health, increasing stress and thereby affecting everything from our cardiovascular health to our mental well-being. It's crucial, therefore, to guard not only against our own negative inclinations, but also against the external influences that could lead us astray from the path of tranquility that Stoicism paves. What can you do if you find yourself frequently in the company of a chronic complainer? First, recognize the power you have over your reactions. You cannot change their nature, but you can change how you engage with it. Imagine yourself as a fortress. Your walls are your rational judgments, which protect you from the siege of negativity. When complaints start flying, reinforce your walls by reminding yourself of the good in the situation. Then, introduce positive observations into the conversation to counterbalance the negativity. This is not just about being optimistic, but about actively practicing a Stoic exercise in reframing your perspective to maintain your emotional equilibrium. Ultimately, the goal is not to transform the complainer, that's beyond your control, but to preserve your own peace of mind. Encourage conversations that focus on gratitude or constructive topics. If all else fails, it may be necessary to limit your exposure to this negativity. Remember, as Epictetus said, "We are not disturbed by what happens to us, but by our thoughts about what happens to us." In managing your interactions with chronic complainers, you are essentially managing your thoughts and maintaining your Stoic peace. Number 2. The unstoppable gossiper. This is someone who has turned the casual sharing of information into an art form of spreading rumors and stirring drama. Picture yourself at a reunion with close friends. The room is filled with laughter and warm greetings. But then the atmosphere shifts. The gossiper begins weaving tales about an absent friend's personal life, spreading details that are neither confirmed nor kind. Suddenly, the air feels heavier, tinged with discomfort and mistrust. Gossip, by its very nature, can fracture even the strongest bonds between friends and family. From a Stoic perspective, gossip is particularly corrosive because it not only harms others, but also diminishes the gossiper themselves. Stoicism teaches us the importance of focusing on what is within our control, our own actions and responses. When we engage in, or even passively entertain gossip, we allow our rational control to be usurped by the trivial and potentially harmful. This is why Stoic philosophers, particularly Marcus Aurelius, urged us to engage in conversations that contribute to our growth and moral improvement, rather than our basest curiosities. So, what should you do when confronted with an unstoppable gossiper? First, reflect on the Stoic principle of focusing on actions that add value to your life and the lives of others. When gossip begins, gently steer the conversation towards more positive or constructive topics. This might mean bringing up shared interests that invoke nostalgia or joy, or discussing ideas and events that inspire rather than divide. Another effective strategy is to employ what could be called the Stoic shield against gossip, the practice of silence. By choosing not to contribute or react to gossip, you starve the gossiper of the attention and engagement they seek. It's a powerful way of asserting control over the conversation and setting a boundary that reflects your values. If pressed to participate, you might consider using Socrates' triple filter test. Is it true? Is it good? Is it useful? If the gossip fails any of these questions, it's likely not worth discussing. In handling the unstoppable gossiper, remember that the ultimate goal isn't just to avoid negativity, but to foster an environment where meaningful and uplifting exchanges can flourish. As you distance yourself from those who spread rumors, you cultivate a social circle that is not only supportive, but enriching, a true reflection of the Stoic ideal that the good life is built not on what we take away, but on what we add back to the world around us. Number 3, the manipulator. Imagine you're at a family gathering and a relative approaches you with a request for a loan. They start with flattery, then swiftly pivot to guilt, suggesting that your refusal would mean you don't care about family. Suddenly, you're not just denying a request for money, you're defending your character. This is a classic manipulative move, transforming a simple ask into an emotional minefield. In the context of Stoicism, manipulation is particularly detrimental because it can lead us to act against our rational judgment and inner tranquility. Stoic philosophy urges us to live in harmony with our nature, which includes acting with reason and integrity. When we allow others to manipulate our decisions, we are not only living out of sync with our true self, but also potentially harming our well-being by fostering relationships based on deceit rather than mutual respect. The key to dealing with manipulators is first to recognize the signs of manipulation: guilt tripping, flattery used as a prelude to requests, and gaslighting, where they make you question your own memory or judgment. Once you've identified these tactics, it's crucial to fortify your position. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what is within our control, our own actions, responses, and decisions. You can apply this by setting clear, firm boundaries with the manipulator. Communicate your decisions and feelings calmly and rationally, without succumbing to the emotional responses the manipulator could use against you. Additionally, practicing the Stoic concept of objective judgment can be incredibly powerful. Before reacting to a manipulative attempt, take a moment to step back and assess the situation objectively. Ask yourself, is this request fair? Does it align with my values? Am I acting out of reason or being swept away by emotion? This pause can give you the clarity needed to respond in a way that aligns with your principles rather than being a reaction to manipulation. Moreover, engaging in open and honest communication is crucial. Sometimes, directly addressing the manipulative behavior can deter further attempts. You could express that you are aware of what's happening and that you prefer interactions based on straightforwardness and mutual respect. This approach not only asserts your boundaries, but also invites the manipulator to interact with you on more honest and respectful terms, if they choose to continue the relationship. Number 4, the obsessive controller. This person thrives on orchestrating the lives of others, down to the smallest details. Imagine you're planning a simple get-together, but there's that one person who insists on managing everything, from the venue to the menu, even to the topics of conversation. This excessive control can stifle spontaneity and joy, turning pleasant gatherings into tightly scripted events. At its core, Stoicism teaches us to understand what is within our control and what is not. The obsessive need for control that these individuals exhibit contradicts this principle, as they struggle to accept that many aspects of life, especially the actions and thoughts of others, are beyond their influence. This battle against life's natural unpredictability not only creates tension and discomfort for those around them, but also leads to their own internal turmoil and unhappiness. Dealing with an obsessive controller requires a balance of compassion and firmness. It's important to recognize that their behavior often stems from deep-seated fears or insecurities. They may control as a way to mitigate their anxiety about life's uncertainties. From a Stoic perspective, we should approach this with understanding, but also set clear boundaries. Engaging with them about the limits of what they can realistically control and highlighting the peace that comes from embracing uncertainty can sometimes ease their compulsive need to manage everything. When interacting with an obsessive controller, it's also crucial to assert your own autonomy. Communicate clearly and assertively that while you appreciate their efforts, you also value creativity, spontaneity, and the freedom to make your own choices. Setting specific boundaries regarding what is acceptable and what is not in your interactions will protect your well-being and provide the controller with clear expectations. This can even reduce their anxiety, as they know what to expect in the relationship. Encouraging them to engage in Stoic exercises, such as reflecting on what truly lies within their control, can also be beneficial. Guiding them to focus on controlling their responses and attitudes rather than external circumstances may alleviate some of their compulsion to overmanage. While dealing with an obsessive controller can be challenging, remember that through thoughtful dialogue, firm boundaries, and a bit of Stoic wisdom, you can maintain a healthy relationship and help them see the beauty and peace in letting go a little. Number 5. The attention hoarder. This individual, no matter the conversation or setting, finds a way to redirect all attention back to themselves. Picture being at a gathering where everyone is eager to share news and stories, but there's one person who consistently steers the conversation back to their own experiences, often overshadowing others. This behavior can dampen the spirit of communal sharing, leaving others feeling unheard and undervalued. From a Stoic perspective, the attention hoarder disrupts the natural balance of social interactions, which should ideally be based on mutual respect and listening. Stoicism teaches us the importance of considering each individual's perspective and valuing the act of listening as much as speaking. Marcus Aurelius, a key figure in Stoic philosophy, emphasized the idea that we have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we might listen twice as much as we speak. This wisdom directly contrasts with the behavior of the attention hoarder, who fails to balance speaking with listening. Handling an attention hoarder effectively involves practicing Stoic virtues such as patience and temperance. It is important to approach the situation with empathy, but also assertiveness. When the attention hoarder begins to dominate the conversation, gently guide the flow back to others by interjecting with directed questions to other participants, inviting them to share their thoughts and stories. This not only limits the hoarder's monopolization, but also enriches the interaction for everyone involved. At times, direct communication about the dynamics of conversation may be necessary. It's perfectly reasonable to express, in a respectful manner, that while their stories are appreciated, the group also values hearing from everyone. This can be framed positively by emphasizing the desire to create an inclusive environment, fostering a more engaging discussion for all participants. Encouraging the attention hoarder to reflect on their behavior can also be beneficial. Stoicism advocates for self-awareness and reflection on how our actions impact others. A gentle prompt, such as asking how they feel when others share stories, can help them recognize the importance of reciprocity in social exchanges. Number 6. The self-interested opportunist. This person seems to be a fair-weather friend, always present during your successes or when it's advantageous for them, but conspicuously absent when you're facing challenges or need support. Imagine celebrating a personal achievement with a group of friends, and the opportunist is lively, showering you with congratulations. However, when you later need help moving or support during a tough time, they become suddenly unavailable, their earlier enthusiasm replaced by silence. In the Stoic framework, this behavior is problematic because it undermines the concept of genuine friendship, which is built on mutual respect, support, and sincerity, qualities the opportunist lacks. Stoicism teaches the value of self-sufficiency and the importance of cultivating relationships that are not merely transactional but are rooted in true virtue. As Seneca, the Stoic philosopher, wrote, "A gift consists not of what is done or given, but in the intention of the giver or doer." A relationship driven by self-interest lacks genuine goodwill and falls short of the Stoic ideal of meaningful human connections. To deal with self-interested opportunists, it's essential to first recognize their patterns. Over time, observation will reveal the conditional nature of their friendship. Once recognized, applying Stoic principles can help manage these relationships effectively. One approach is to cultivate indifference to their presence during your good times and their absence during your bad times. By developing emotional independence, you minimize their impact on your well-being. Direct communication about your observations and feelings is also crucial. Setting clear boundaries with the opportunist, stating what you expect from a friendship, can sometimes influence a change in behavior. However, remember that you cannot control their actions, only your response. As Epictetus famously said, "Some things are in our control and others are not." Focus on fostering relationships with people who demonstrate consistent support and genuine interest in your well-being. Additionally, use this experience as a Stoic exercise in discernment. Learn to distinguish between those who are truly committed to shared growth and those who are there solely for their own benefit. This discernment allows you to invest more deeply in relationships that are reciprocal and aligned with your values. While the self-interested opportunist can be a source of frustration, using Stoic wisdom to navigate these relationships can turn them into opportunities for personal growth and greater relational insight. By focusing on building a circle of sincere and supportive friends, you not only protect your emotional health but also create a community that reflects the Stoic values of virtue and mutual respect. Number 7. The secretly envious. This type of individual may appear supportive and cheerful to your face, especially during your moments of success, but beneath the surface lurks a simmering resentment or jealousy over your accomplishments. Imagine sharing news of a promotion or a significant personal achievement. The secretly envious person might smile, offer congratulations, and even toast to your success. Yet their compliments may carry a subtle undertone of sarcasm, or they might swiftly change the subject to divert attention away from your achievements. Stoicism provides a valuable lens through which to view envy. It teaches us that true contentment comes from within and is not dependent on external circumstances or comparisons with others. Envy manifests when people place too much importance on external validation rather than internal virtues. Marcus Aurelius, a prominent Stoic philosopher, advises us to focus on our own actions and maintain inner virtue, regardless of external situations. He prompts us to consider that the good life is built on personal, ethical practices, not on surpassing others. Dealing with the secretly envious requires a nuanced approach. Firstly, it is essential to foster self-awareness of your own successes and appreciate them independently of others' validations. By anchoring your self-esteem in your own values, rather than external approval, you reduce the impact of others' envy on your emotional state. Moreover, it can be beneficial to address the issue directly if the relationship is important to you and you sense underlying envy. This doesn't mean confronting their envy head-on, but rather opening a dialogue about mutual support and how you can celebrate each other's successes genuinely. Sometimes just acknowledging the achievements and struggles of the envious person can help alleviate their feelings of inadequacy or competition. Another Stoic practice that can be helpful is reflecting on the impermanence of success and the common human experience of ups and downs. Sharing this perspective can help normalize the fluctuating fortunes of life, thereby reducing feelings of envy. It's about creating a culture of empathy and mutual respect, where successes are viewed as collective rather than individual. Lastly, consider gradually distancing yourself if the envious behaviors persist and begin to drain your energy. Stoicism teaches us to choose our companions wisely, suggesting that we spend time with those who uplift and inspire us rather than those who subtly bring us down. Maintaining a calm and detached approach will help you manage interactions with the secretly envious, keeping your inner peace intact. Handling secret envy with Stoic wisdom involves a blend of self-reflection, open communication, and sometimes strategic distancing. By doing so, you not only protect your emotional well-being, but also contribute to a healthier, more supportive social environment. Number 8. The energy vampire. This person has an uncanny ability to leave you feeling exhausted after every interaction. They often monopolize conversations with their problems and dramas, sucking the vitality out of those around them without giving much, if anything, back in terms of support or positivity. Picture this. You enter a meeting feeling good, but by the time you leave, you're inexplicably tired and downcast. That's the hallmark effect of an energy vampire. From a Stoic perspective, dealing with energy vampires involves understanding and practicing the principle of protecting your inner citadel from external disruptions. Stoicism teaches that true peace comes from within and should not be easily disturbed by external factors, including the negative energy of others. Marcus Aurelius reminds us to maintain our composure and not to be affected by the opinions or emotions of others, as true tranquility depends not on external conditions, but on our internal state. Handling an energy vampire effectively requires setting firm emotional and physical boundaries. It's crucial to recognize when your energy is being drained and to limit your exposure to this individual as much as possible. This might mean keeping interactions brief, steering conversations away from negativity, or in some cases, ending conversations when they become too draining. It's not about being rude, but about prioritizing your well-being. Another Stoic strategy is to cultivate an attitude of indifference to the emotional drama that an energy vampire thrives on. By practicing non-reactivity, you protect your inner peace. This involves seeing their behavior as an external event that you can choose not to let penetrate your emotional state. Imagine their words and actions as a storm outside that can't reach you because you are sheltered within your Stoic mindset. Additionally, it can be helpful to engage in reflective exercises to strengthen your inner resilience. Regularly practicing mindfulness or meditation can enhance your ability to remain centered and calm in the face of emotional turmoil. This not only helps in dealing with energy vampires, but also improves your overall emotional intelligence and stability. Finally, if you must interact with an energy vampire regularly, try to bring positivity into your encounters. Sometimes, setting a positive tone and leading by example can influence the dynamics of your interactions. Encouraging discussions about solutions rather than problems or steering conversations toward shared interests can mitigate the draining effects. While energy vampires can be challenging to deal with, applying Stoic principles allows you to protect your inner peace and maintain your energy.